record. So I am recording right now. Did that yesterday too. Thank you very much. You probably caught me do that yesterday, so thank you. So odds and ends, please keep yourself muted throughout the presentation. We're only going to have the audio for John and Catherine so that they can tell us everything that's going on and how to do things. And then this way, none of our background noise will interrupt them. I'm going to mute myself and turn my own video off in just a second. So that's the other thing. If you could keep your video off, we'll just leave John and Catherine's on so that they get the spotlight and are good to go there. If you're looking for PDHs, at the end of the session, we got a ton of emails about this yesterday. So at the end of the session, please keep an eye on the chat window. That's where the PDH will go. We do have to do it during the live session because ISB requires that it is live attendance. So just stick around till the end. Make sure that you keep an eye in the chat window. I usually put it in there 2 or 3 times. I'll tell you I'm putting it in there. So keep an eye out for that, and you can click the link and get your PDHs that way. So without further ado, John and Catherine, I'm going to let you guys get things started, and I'm going to be quiet and play with everybody. So looking forward to it. Thanks.
Great. All right. Well, welcome everybody to One Book, 1 Hour, the COVID-19 edition. Yeah, so we'll give you a little history here in a second. But first, if you don't know who we are, let's us tell you who we are. Catherine, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you weren't on here yesterday, Catherine Capiello. I'm on the school partnerships team here at Book Creator. I live in Chicago. I'm a former educator. I also taught in Chicago for a number of years, grades kinder all the way through high school. You can follow me at bookcreator_cat. Or shoot me an email, catherine@bookcreator.com, and I can help you with implementing Book Creator into your current remote learning plan.
Awesome. And I'm John Smith, Teacher Success Manager at Book Creator, at the iPod Teacher on Twitter, johnsmith@bookcreator.com for my email. Husband, father of 3, taught special ed for 12 years, tech integration specialist for 7, and now the Teacher Success Manager. I love golf and clean cars. So yeah, okay. So here we go. This is fun. I'm excited. I haven't done one of these in a while. These are my favorite types of sessions to run, and I hope you're as excited as I am. A little bit of housekeeping up front. Before we even get into the agenda, I want to give you a little bit of a background. Somebody asked me a long time ago to do a Twitter chat. I told them, I said, I'll do the Twitter chat, but it's going to be completely wacky. And they said, okay, cool. What's it going to be? And I said, I'm not going to tell you, right? Because I'm a big fan of surprise. I don't like sending Twitter questions out, 5 days ahead of time so people can think about them. I just want raw answers. And so we did on Twitter a One Book, 1 Hour project. So instead of typical Twitter questions, I just gave people tasks to complete. And those tasks then were book pages. And so then we wrote these book pages, and at the end we compiled them all together into one big book. And it was just a lot of fun. And teachers had a lot of fun doing it. Some of them were a little stressed out because it was crazy, and exciting at the same time. And they loved it. It was like a good stress. And so I just that's what we're going to do today, right? We're going to make a book in 1 hour. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. So here's the agenda. All right. We're going to talk about this. So be attentive, right? You just got to listen to what's going on. Follow the guidelines. I'll give you some makeup time. It'll all make sense once we start going around here. If you didn't participate yesterday and you're not real familiar with Book Creator, then we are here to continue answering questions throughout the chat or throughout the webinar today. So please, in the Q&A box, if you have questions, put them in there. If you have statements or comments, put those. Actually, you know what? We don't see those, do we? No, put them in the chat window.
Chat window.
Put them into the chat window, and Catherine and I will do our best to answer those, okay? Because you may have questions as we go along, but there's going to be a whole lot less of us talking and a whole lot more of all of you doing stuff, right? So this is going to be real fun. So be attentive. That's your agenda. Join our library, which we'll give you here in a second. Have fun, be creative, ask questions, and have fun, right? Because it's going to be fun. All right. So the basic plan is this. Oh, let me go back to this page. You're going to go to your Book Creator account, and you are going to join our library with this code right here, 6MY9GQB. And Catherine, maybe Catherine will put that into the chat window as well. But this is the code, and we'll pop that up here again in a minute. This is the code that you're going to use to join our library. If you don't remember how to join our library, at the top left, there's that little hamburger menu button. If you click on that, you go to your teacher dashboard. Underneath, at the very, very bottom, there's a button that says Join a Library. And that's the button you're going to click, and you're going to put in that code. And you're going to get into our library that we have today. All right, and so this is the library. So when you're in this,
just put the code in the chat. Sorry to cut you off.
Perfect, thank you. Now this is our library. Do not click the new book button. We are not making books outside over here, right? So that's not where we're going to be doing things. We're going to be doing things in these books right here. Now, if you hover over it right now, there's a play button, which means you can't mess with it, right? You can't mess with it. No working ahead, all right? So here's what's going to happen. You're going to join this library. I'm going to turn on collaboration for task 1. And task 1 simply says, tell me about yourself, by filling in the template on the following pages. So your job, once I turn on collaboration, will be to find a blank page somewhere in this book. All right, there might be plenty. If there's not plenty of pages, I'll keep adding extras, but I think I put 100 pages in here, so I think we're good. You're just going to find a blank page. And once collaboration is turned on, you will be able to click inside this comic panel. You'll be able to click inside the text boxes and answer these questions. So I just want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. All right, that's what you're going to do for task 1. So I'm going to give you about 7 minutes to do that. All right, so only 7 minutes. 7 minutes will go quickly. All right, but you're going to go in there and you're going to answer task 1. All right, so I think Catherine and everybody's going to be playing around. I'll try to make a page in here as well, but I do want to be around to answer questions as we go along. Before we click collaboration, are we ready, Catherine? Do we have any questions?
Maybe just show them one more time how to join the library. The code is in the chat, the 6MY9GQB.
So one more time, if you click the 3 hamburger button at the top of your account, and you get to your teacher dashboard, at the very bottom, there's a button that says Join a Library. Click that, put in that code that Catherine put into the chat window, and that's how you get into our library. Now again, if you're in there right now, you may be clicking in these books and wondering, how can I not edit? I didn't turn it on yet. All right, I didn't turn it on yet. So I'm trying to keep those anxious students from working ahead, right? So here we go. I'm going to turn this on, and it's going to be at 1:13, and we're going to have 7 minutes. So I'm going to put the timer on my clock. 7 minutes. Oh, that's not it. That was a calculator. What am I doing? Here we go. I can't find the timer. All right, so I got the timer. 7 minutes. Underneath my book, I'm going to click the share button. I'm going to turn on collaborate, and I'm going to start collaboration. And I'm going to go in this book just to see. There we go. Look at all these people just piling in there. I love it. It's like a it's like Black Friday sale. All right, 7 minutes. Find a blank page. Start working. Go. Whoop. So task 1, somebody said, are adding images part of task 1? Sure, images, text, anything that you want to do to make your page special and all about you. That's what we want to see. Maybe a picture of yourself. That might be good too. Know who you are? All right, I see lots of heads popping up there on all these pages. This is fantastic. Now I see a couple people on the same page. Make sure that, no fighting here.
How can you access a page? So just click on pages on the top.
So,
and then
somebody's messing up my front page, not page 1.
There's a ton you can pick from. If it doesn't have a little like human head on it, that means it's blank. If you need another one, go all the way to the last page and then you can click add, but there should be plenty.
Yep. So again, just don't mess up page 1 because we all got to see the question. All right, the cover page, I should say. Don't mess up my cover page. Oh, I like it. I like seeing all these people in this book.
I'm gonna see which one's blank. So
I'm pretty sure I'm in the wrong spot here. I don't see this book with these shared pages.
I'm sorry, who was that?
This is Ann again, sorry.
So Ann, did you join our library?
I did. And
And
I
you don't-
have the idea book 1 hour.
Yep. So if you hit the little
Okay.
arrow, if you go to the right, it says
Mhm.
task 1.
Mm-hmm. I see all
If you-
that, but then where are the blank pages?
If you click on that and then click where it says pages at the top,
Those are templates. So you're going to pick one.
you
And
can
then
find
fill it
one of the
out.
blank pages. Yep.
Pages at
So
the
they're
top.
technically not going to be blank. It's just the template copied.
I don't see any label that says pages. So I'm on your task 1 slide where it says tell me about yourself.
Yeah, did you click inside the book? Okay, so I
Yeah.
see you in the book now at the top right.
Okay.
At the top, do you see a button that says pages?
No, I just have the plus, the I, and the play button.
To the left?
Back arrow, a grid, and a greater than less than sign. What do we have here?
So can you see my page right now? Can you
Yeah.
see? And do you see where it says pages at the top? Do you see that?
No, I don't have that at all.
Catherine, what's the thing that you told to do to zoom out? I'm wondering if she's just not seeing it.
If on Zoom, you might need to go to the top where it says view options and zoom out to about 50%. But you should have everything on your own device.
You may have to go to a separate tab I see that you're in the book, so
Yeah, you're on the front page. If you just click right, even on your
Yeah.
keyboard, it will
Mhm.
take you to another page.
Yeah.
There you go. And then are you on the next page?
Here's one that Michelle is working on, Sarah, Becky.
Perfect. Okay. So now at the top, do you know where it says pages, what John had showed? John,
Yeah.
if you can go to pages real quick.
Yep.
You're going to scroll all the way through. I would say maybe past, let's see.
We're gonna have to go to like
What
page
number is going to
40
be
or
blank?
50.
Okay.
I
to
would
page
go,
43.
yeah,
43.
page 43.
Okay, got it.
Cool. There you go.
And,
Mhm.
Thank you.
Barb's having the same issue. So Barb, if you get into the book, just click the arrows until you get to
Yeah.
page 50 is yours, Barb.
I'm
And if
I'm
you
not
guys
even
can
getting
just-
that much.
If you guys can just put your
And I'm on a
questions in.
separate computer.
All right, so Barb, tell me where you're at right now.
I am in a separate computer and I just scrolled to page 7 where it says task 7 and I don't have any more pages.
So actually what you want to do, you don't want to go beyond that. You want to go actually where it says task 1, you want to click inside that book. You're actually clicking in the book that says task 1.
Wouldn't let me in before. Okay.
You may have
Let's see if it
tried to
works.
click in before I turned on collaboration.
Yeah, it's okay. As long as you're in, and then I would click onto, if you go to page 49, that one's blank right now. So you can go work on that one. Let's see. 50, cool. What time are we at, John?
Oh, you guys don't want to know. You got 90 seconds.
Maybe we should add a minute. Teach them. I'll change the font of the text. Click on the inspector button.
All right, we got about 15 seconds left. I may give you a little bit of soccer time here. Get some extra time. Now, I can already sense there's a few people who may be a little stressed out, and that's okay. Oh, keep going until I'm done talking. Keep working. Here's the thing. It might be a little stressful, and that's all right. I really just want you to get in here and play around. There's no grade for this, right? If your page doesn't look like super fantastic in your opinion, you're not going to get denied idea credit, right? You're not going to get denied the credit because your page isn't up to what you think it should be. The idea here is just to have fun, try stuff out. I know it's going to be a little stressful for some of you, and that's okay. We'll make it through it. I've done probably 50 to 70 of these one book, 1 hour projects. And by the time everybody gets themselves figured out and they have fun with this, then they're like, okay, yeah, this is cool. All right, so you're gonna be all right. I promise. All right. So Catherine's either taking a picture of herself or her book.
I took
or
a picture.
Really excited about what I said. All right. So I'm gonna give you 30 more seconds. I'm gonna see what this one in the chat window was, and we're gonna move on. How do you join 2 objects on a page, Kelly? That's a great question. You don't. So sorry, we do not have a grouping feature right now. That is definitely something that everybody wants, but we do not have a feature to do that. Okay, that was your 30 seconds. Here we go. I will say that we will have time to continue moving back and forth. So if you get done with task 2, you can always go back to task 1. I'm going to leave task 1 open. All right, you'll always be able to go backwards. You just won't be able to go forwards, right? I'm not going to let you get into task 3 if you're super advanced and you're getting ahead of things. Now, don't click into task 2 yet. I didn't turn it on. Task 2, what does your home office look like? Highlight your favorite part of your home office, right? Maybe add some text, maybe add an audio button, maybe add a drawing, something. Tell us about your home office and tell us what you like about it. I'm going to go down to the bottom, click on the share button, turn on collaborate, and hit start. Now just find a blank page. No templates on this one, folks. Just find a blank page and start working. And I'm going to add extra pages here because we have way more people than I have pages. So just find a blank page. It sounds like my children are having like a Braveheart battle upstairs.
I like your favorite part.
All right, I think I have enough pages here for everybody. If you do not get enough pages, there's just the plus button on the far right next to your last page. Just start making a page in there.
Yeah, any page that's available.
I have a weird red line on the middle of my screen. I don't know where that's coming from. It's like, there we go. All right, it's gone. I think somebody was annotating or something. All right.
Don't worry, Rebecca, it's going to be recorded too. So anything you missed, you didn't miss anything. We were just on that task.
All right, got to take a picture of my home office here.
Mine is not too exciting.
I don't think the whole meeting died. I just refreshed my page there real quick, Rebecca. How do I get back in? Just go to the second task. So once you're in our library, click on the book that says second task, click inside of it, and then just start to get there. How do I get the auto draw? Click the plus button, go to media, and then you're going to click on the pen tool. And one of the pen choices is auto, and that's where you're going to go, Jessica. Oh, you know what, you guys? You're lucky. I forgot to hit the timer. Ha!
Ooh.
You got bonus time. Starting the timer now.
Let's see. I'm going to do something to my background.
How do you get to the library? Let me find that code here for you real quick. I'll put that in there. Joining late, that's all right. And there we go. And task 2, Becky, is in the book, so or in that library. So if you're in the library, you can go to the very front there, and you can see task 2. Basically, take a picture of your home library or your home office where you're working from, and explain to us your favorite part. I'm actually showing you all my process here. So there's my office, my picture. I'm going to screenshot this because my phone takes images in HEIC, which Book Creator does not like. So I have to do this the slightly.
I was just going to say that. I was like, my picture's not adding, but good to know. Screenshot.
Slightly more complicated way of doing it with if you're using an iPhone or something to take an extra picture. But then I'm going to go to Files, and I'm going to pull in my, whoops, it's on my desktop. I'm going to pull in my file, my screenshot there. Bring that in. Oh, you know what? Get rid of that.
There's mine. Cool.
It's going to look better. I love AirDrop.
I know. It's actually the first time I did that to my computer.
All right, let's see. I think we got a couple questions in here. If you upload a picture to Google Drive from your Photos app, it will convert them to JPEG. Cool. Can I draw arrows, etc. on top of a Google Map image? Yep, absolutely. Golf clubs, that's me. Love golfing. It linked to the wrong Google Drive folder. Can I switch that? Eek. There's a way to switch your account, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head because we just figured it out.
What's the question here? Let me...
It's how do you switch your Google accounts because you picked the wrong one. There's a way to unlink your Google account. I can't remember what it is because it wasn't available before.
Just shoot John an email after. Unless they need it this second.
How do you keep like your instruction page open and the page you're working on open at the same time? Do I need to open up a third window here?
Instruction page? You mean like the front cover of the task?
Yeah, the task. What did you tell us to do? Just your office space and highlight the best part?
Yep. Talk about your favorite part.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right, you have 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to do task 2. Uh-oh, somebody on task 2 here erased my cover page. Just remember to find a page that's not the cover page. Make sure you find a page that is not the cover page. Sue-Ann in the house.
Hey, I'm here. I'm just typing in the Google Drive stuff.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's a bit complicated, but I'll type it in.
The call-out speech bubbles are not text boxes, correct? Well, technically not text boxes, but you can use them as text boxes. So no worries there. You can definitely click inside of those and change those. Enlarge the text, but it's too big, can't remember how to get back. So if you click on the text, so if I click on my text, hit the plus, or I'm sorry, the I button, then you can drag the slider to change the size of the font. I like the new task 2 background anyway better. I'm gonna go to Pages View. I'm gonna check out all your work. Look at all the stuff you guys are doing. Ooh, nice. I like this page. I like the baby.
They're so cute.
Very cool. My comfy chair is a lifesaver. Awesome. Yep. Multitasking at its best. You're right. So hopefully, as you are in here and you're playing around, I know some of you may still be stressed out, and that's okay. I don't mind. I call it funstration. I think that you're get in here and play around. I mean, I can sit here and talk to you over and over again about the steps, but when you click on things and you push buttons and you get around here and play, that's when it really starts to click and really makes sense.
That is so true, because when I started working at Book Creator, it took me a while to learn all this, and John really helped. So just listen to his advice.
90 seconds. Thank you, Suanne. "90 seconds, and then we're going to move on to task 3. Now, just a reminder, don't mess up my front cover page. "90 seconds, 90 seconds.
Oh, I'm so happy, Heather.
That's great,
Fun,
Heather.
right?
Yeah, I'm glad that this, and for a first time, that's even better, right? That you're having fun. Yeah, excellent. Love it. You know what? While we got 30 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this. I think if you click on the object, Becky, and then click the inspector button, the I button, there's a move front and back button there that will help you. I think this is important to note. I think sometimes as teachers, we get a little stuck on the fact that we don't know something 100%, right? And then we get a little scared of showing it to our kids because we don't fully understand it. You know what? Kids are going to be the same way. They're going to click buttons. They're going to figure it out. I've used Book Creator with kids from kindergarten all the way up through high school, college, and beyond. And I think just clicking in there and having some fun, you'll be good. All right, here we go, folks. Task 3. What parts of working from home and being isolated make you anxious, nervous, scared, or angry? All right, so I'm going to turn on collaboration. So again, share button, collaborate, start collaborate. Now you can get in there, find a blank page. Do not mess up my emojis on the front cover there. Find a blank page and tell us what parts of working from home and being isolated make you anxious, nervous, scared, and angry. My wife is a guidance counselor, so I had to put some SEL type questions in there, right? So we can get our heads wrapped around our emotions. All right, and I'm going to not forget to turn the timer on this time. So the timer begins now, 7 minutes. Again, remember, just find a blank page. If there are not enough blank pages, like I see somebody on page 49 here, I'm going to click on, let me give me a second here, and I'm going to start making some extra blank pages. All right, so I'm adding some extra blank pages in here.
Hopefully 2's blank, because I'm just jumping to 2.
As long as there's not a face on there, you're going to be all right. All right, I think we got enough pages in there now. Susan, I'm glad you're having an amazing time. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. The very first time I ever did this, it had a side effect that I did not anticipate. So at the end of the Twitter chat, I asked people, I said, how did you feel about this activity? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? And everybody was like, oh my gosh, it was the most stressful thing I've ever done. But in a good way. I loved it, had so much fun. But then somebody said something that really stuck with me. And somebody said, you know what, John, I have to thank you because for the first time in 20 years, I felt like a kid again. I think sometimes as teachers, we don't realize what we do with and to our students, right? We don't think about what it's like to be a kid and what kind of pressure that is and things like that. And so I really enjoy frustrating people to make them feel a little bit like kids. Barb says, nah, it's fun. Good, good. All right. So go ahead and answer task 3. What parts of working from home and being isolated make you anxious, nervous, scared, or angry? And just remember, don't mess up my front page there. Three minutes remaining. I hope that doesn't come across as bad as I think it probably does. Can you put text inside of stickers? You cannot put text inside of stickers, but what you can do is take a blank sticker and then add a text box on top of it. So Cami says, can you show me how to get back to the grid? So from this view, so if you're on a single page, if you click to the top, there's a pages view. If you click on pages, it will show you all of the pages. The emojis, Kelly, are under the pen tool, as Catherine just said. So yeah, if I go back to a page, if I click on the plus button, media, pen, to the far right is the emoji section. How do you size an auto draw? Took up the whole page. So when you're done with the auto draw, before you hit done, or even after you hit done, if you just click on it once, then the little blue dots appear on the side. If you drag those little blue dots, you should be able to fix that. How do you size a caption box or its text? Great question. So if I click on the caption box, hit the inspector, then you have some options here for the text size. So you just click the little slider and drag it along. Change the font and color and all that fun stuff. Oh, Jillian, you're from Cleveland? Great. We're from Canton, so we're only an hour south there. Yeah, awesome. All right, you've got about 15 seconds before we get into task number 4. That is the timer, folks. Task number 4. And again, if you get done with a task early, you can always go back and find your page and fix it then. Task number 4 is the opposite. What parts of working from home and being isolated make you excited, energetic, happy, and hopeful? What are the things working from home that make you energetic, happy, and hopeful? So I'm going to turn on collaboration. You can now enter the book. Don't mess with my front page there. I saw you, Michelle. I saw you clicking on my text box. Find a blank page, and let's go at it here. I'm going to go ahead and add some pages because I know we don't have enough.
They look so good.
I know that you guys are really doing a good job. So I know some, like I said, I know some of you were nervous, but what I'm seeing is fantastic. You guys are doing great. We got enough pages there.
Oops, sorry, Claudia.
From Canton, Illinois. Very good. I lived in Chicago 10 years, but grew up on the east side of Cleveland. Very cool.
I can go another page. Claudia, you can have that one. Let me go back. Let's see.
I'm actually going to cheat. Watch this. Back to task 3. The same thing that makes
41.
me nervous.
Oop, number. Let's see.
Thank you.
So cute.
It doesn't matter how stressed out anybody is. When you put kids in the picture, everybody smiles. How do you create recording? So Becky, if you wanted to add a recording to the page, you click the plus button, click media, and then click record. And then it's going to give you a start button up the top right. Click the start button and hit recording after a little countdown. That'll give you the record button. Guess we forgot to click the timer.
You.
Yep, I'm going to go 3 more minutes here. You don't see the countdown. Yeah, maybe, Becky. It might be. Again, I see a lot of great pages being made. Love it. And just a reminder, as I'm going through pages view here, if it looks like, if you're on page 43 and I don't see anything, this is not a good way to grade student work. These images don't update 100% in real time. So just be aware of that. But eventually these thumbnails do update, and you will see your work on those pages from that view. Yeah, so here's a great question. So Kelly says, can I move the page? Because when I go to edit, right? So if I'm on this page and I go to click the plus button to edit things, right? See how I have the inspector and I've got it covers part of my page, right? So can I shove the page over? You can't, but if you look right here to the top right, there's a little pin button. If you click pin, and what it does is it pins the editor off to the side, and then it leaves the page over on the other side so that you don't have anything covering your page when you edit. I think that's what you were asking. Ah, good. And I'll be honest, I didn't even know that thing existed until about 3 weeks ago. I didn't even pay attention to that. So how do I get pictures, Linda, to fill my box perfectly? What I do is I just pick a comic panel. And I think the trick here, a lot of times people, what they don't realize is that those panels, if you click in the panel, it will give you a option to choose images, and they will fit automatically in the panel. If you click the plus button, media, and import an image on top of the panel, it's hard to get it to fit. So you definitely want to click in the panel, and then that way you can get your images to fit perfectly inside those panels. Great question. Is there a way to put a widget in the book? Not sure if it's the correct name, so a student could record their voice. So yeah, great question. No, we don't have a record widget, but what I would suggest is you make a book, and we call it a template. You make a book, and then you allow students to copy that book. And so then you would put maybe a circle shape or something on your page. So if I just made a shape and I put a circle and just put some text in it that says, make a recording and put your record button here when done. So you could do that. So you would make a template, and then your students would copy that page, and then or that book, and then they would be able to, add a recording. But there is no widget type thing. I know exactly what you're saying, but there is no widget type thing there for that. All right, folks, here we go. It is time now for question 5, task number 5. So reflecting on the experience of isolation and remote learning, how has it changed you as a person? All right, how has it changed you? Now, I do want to get to task 6 because it's one of my favorites. So before we get to task 6 though, task 5, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this. All right, 5 minutes on the clock, task number 5. Reflecting on your experience of being isolated and being at home and remote learning, how has it changed you as a person? I'm going to go in here and add some pages at the end. I like how fast everybody gets into these books, and they're like vying for pages. And I know I saw some questions up there. Let me add a few pages here, and then I will make sure I go back and answer some of those questions. I'm almost there, almost there. Add a couple more pages. All right, let's get some of these questions here. I have a Google Meet with my students at 1 p.m. I am worried about this meet running long. Is it possible to get information regarding PDH and the like? Do animated GIFs work in the book? Animated GIFs, we don't have technical support for that. We'll make sure that we cut this at time. I know there's a couple extra questions that we may not get to fully. I'll leave the library open, so if you want to continue working this book a little bit later, you can certainly do so. So hopefully that will help. Let's see here. If you're doing a group with a class, is there a way to be sure that you can keep groups separate from other groups? So Kathy, unfortunately right now, like if I turn on collaboration, it's kind of free reign, right? As you saw, somebody changed my front cover page, not a big deal for me, but with students, I understand that we get a little bit nervous. The best way to do this then is to everybody make their own book, and then you combine them at the end. So at the end today, I'm going to show you how to combine, and that will work with your students, but that's one way of kind of separating things. If you do have a paid account, you can separate them by different different libraries. You can create different libraries for each small group, and that may be something that's helpful. Awesome.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, assign their class number. I've also seen it where they've, the front page of the book that they want them to work on. This might take some time, but they have, especially for remote learning, they've written all the student names and then hyperlinked that text to the page that they're supposed to go on. So they go to page 2, click on their name, and it takes them directly to that page. Obviously, it can be a little time consuming, but it's one way you could do that too.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
I like the class number though, yeah. If you have that.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea too. My son, he's in 3rd grade. They just did an activity like this where they were doing a biography book. And so the instruction were to go into the book, find the page with your name on it, and then go from there.
View panels, how do you change the color? Background. Yeah, you could do that. You could hyperlink them and then you could just keep the original as a template.
Yep.
And they could just make a copy as long as you have enough books.
Yeah. Kim, great question. How do you change the background once you have panels? So in a panel itself, you can't change the actual background. Let me get out of here. So if I go to the plus button here and I add a comic panel, you can't change this color inside this panel. Okay, you can add a shadow and a border to the panel, but that's it. Because the idea here with this panel is that I'm going to click the media buttons inside, and I'm going to add a picture like this that fully covers the panel. So I know where you're going with this. So you want to put a panel, but then maybe you want to put some text in there, and you don't want all that white space behind it. The panels are really designed for images, and then you can add text and things like that on top. The other thing too is, like, behind my panel, I have just white space. So if you click that white space and click the inspector, then you can change what that background looks like behind the comic panel. And so hopefully that helped answer that question for you. Perfect. All right, we've got 30 seconds left before we move on. I'm going to back out of here. All right, and that is the time. All right, here we go. On to task 6. This is my favorite. Task 6 is my favorite. If you were a virus, what would you be called? What would you attack? And what would you look like? So maybe this is a good opportunity for you to draw an image using the pen tool. Auto draw might work for this. I'm not real sure, but I want you to pretend like you're a virus. We're going to give you 4 minutes to do this one because I want to make sure we have a little bit of time to wrap up. Turn on collaboration. Get in there and make yourself a virus. What would you look like? What would you be called? And what would you attack? And this will give us about 3 or 4 minutes to wrap up at the end. I'm also going to turn on collaboration here for task 7. This is something you can do on your own time. I would really like you to tell me how you think you're going to use Book Creator now that you've learned it. How will you use it in your classroom next year? Or how might you use it in a remote learning situation this year?
The pen tool's fun.
I love the pen tool.
color of text. So whatever, make sure whatever you've written, then click on the inspector button. It's to the right of the plus sign. And so you've clicked on the text, click on inspector, and then you can change color, font, everything. And don't be sorry. It takes a while to remember it all.
Just don't ask it again. I'm kidding. Two minutes. All right, we got 1 minute left. So to delete something that you drew, if you just click on it once, and then you can either hit the delete key or you can go to the inspector button, the I button, and click delete. You're welcome. Awesome, I'm glad that you've had a good time. If you fill the background with the bucket and then want to change it, how do you do it? So if you fill the background of a drawing, Linda, or part of the drawing, like if you made a piece of pizza and you filled in a piece of pepperoni and it was green and you wanted it to be red? Oh, you should be able to click the undo button. If not, you can just hit the fill bucket and choose white and then click on it, and that should change the whole background to white again. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much. I had a lot of fun watching this. I did most of the pages myself, too, so you know, don't ask people to do something you're not willing to do yourself. And I tried to do that as much as possible. We do only have a couple minutes left, so I'm going to turn the reins back over. I'm going to put this slide back up here, this page back up of our book, so that we can wrap things up.
And keep working on it.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, everybody, that was so awesome. I had so much fun in looking at all of your guys' creativity. I started just flipping through I got stressed out, so then I just started flipping through the books too. But it was so awesome seeing what everybody was doing. And I love seeing all the names that I recognize too of everybody who is here today joining us. So thank you so much. I am putting the PDH in the chat window right now. So go ahead and if the link's not clickable for you, copy and paste the link in. Don't do the period, obviously, at the end of the sentence. And just go ahead, fill that stuff out. If you have PDH questions, go ahead. I'm going to put the PDH email for IDEA Illinois in there. Okay, so you can send questions about PDHs specifically to that email. As you know, this was recorded. Thank you, M. McKee, for making sure I did that. So I will be sending out the recording with the chat file as well as any other resources, the link to this book, although everybody's got it in their system now. But any other resources will be going out first thing tomorrow morning. Next week, we have 2 webinars scheduled currently right now. Tuesday, we have one on SEL. So if you go to, I will put the link in the chat window in a second, but if you go to ideaillinois.org/calendar, you can register for these webinars. And so Tuesday is with SEL, and one that we just added last night, Wednesday, we're going to be with WeVideo. So I don't even think, I didn't give you guys that slide because it happened last night. So Wednesday we're with WeVideo, so definitely check both of those out. And then if you go to our at-home learning page at bit.ly/idea_home learning, you will find all of these things as well as many more resources to help you and your students with at-home learning right now. So other than that, everybody, thank you so much, John and Catherine. I think everybody had fun. It certainly seemed like it. And
I have a blast, so
very
no
involved.
way ahead.
Thanks for having us.
So we appreciate it. Everybody stay healthy, stay sane. We will stick around for just another minute or two to make sure that we get all of the questions answered. Otherwise, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm going to put that link in the chat for our calendar if you want to register. Oops, I put it privately. If you want to register for any other webinars as well.
Yeah.
So.
And don't forget, I'll leave this library open. If you want to finish task 7, go ahead and do that. And then I will say maybe Friday, sometime Friday afternoon, I'll take all these books, combine it, or put them in one. We'll publish it online, and we'll make sure we get that link out there by too, so you can see the complete finished copy.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And there are a few questions going through the chat window if you guys want to.
After collaborating, is there a way to save just your own pages? So the only real way to do that would be to go through and screenshot like your own pages. There's no real easy way to do that, Jillian. That's a great question. Unfortunately, just no real easy way to do that. You could copy, I suppose, Jillian, let me rephrase that. Afterwards, you could copy all of the books and then go through and individually delete everybody's pages except for yours, which would be quite time consuming and probably not much fun. But really, unfortunately, that's kind of what we got. And no worries. I'm glad you had fun. Great Kickstarter fast
I love
forward.
seeing people message from IDEA too. It's nice seeing familiar names and faces.
Yeah. If you send kids a template, could they copy the template and work off of that? Yes, absolutely, Jillian. That's my daughter's name, by the way.
Check out the remote learning one that is on the IDEA in their Wednesday webinar series. There's a recorded copy of that, and that goes over templates too.
Cool. I'm going to stop sharing that screen here for a second. I'll stick around here and